Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul done their face-off the other day, and Logan Paul had the nerve, the audacity to call Dylan Dennis out for scamming.
For those people when you got caught for scamming.
I didn't scam nobody. You
literally signed a contract that said I am agreeing to scamming my audience.
You pay your fans back?
Scamming
you pay
Dennis,
your fans back?
Dylan, the difference between you and I
is what?
I'm rectifying my situation.
How?
And I didn't scam anyone.
How?
I never made a single token.
Me either.
Dollar. I never sold a token. Nah, bro. Just will prove
you bought that
itself.
private jet with people's
and I'm
money.
rectifying my situation actively. You scammed your audience on 20 separate occasions.
20 separate occasions.
Community notes checked your ass, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Quote unquote. Dylan Dennis has also scammed his audience on several occasions.
And yes, Dylan has promoted a lot of crypto pump and dumps, which is bad. But Logan might be taking too many hits to the brain because he surely can't be that unself-aware, can he? Well, I think he can. Now, I don't want this to be the Logan Paul update channel. You guys know that I just make content on whatever I follow and enjoy myself. And we have to see this timeline through to the end. So, new information has surfaced about some of Logan Paul's scams, which has flew under the radar. Going back to the face-to-face between him and Dennis, Logan Paul seemed to be particularly proud of his dildodennis.com website that he's made to count how many days that Dylan hasn't fought in.
How long it's been since you last fought?
It's been a long time. I'll give you that.
1,530
Well, you dealt with knee injuries. You dealt with knee injuries. You dealt with knee injuries. You know what I'm saying?
And I know that because I have a running counter going on dildodennis.com.
You're having a word rage right now, bro.
dildodennis.com, running counter. That's how long it's been since you last fought.
Logan, you haven't fought in 832 days yourself, you muppet. Dylan at least has had a bit of an excuse. He's been injured. Meanwhile, you've been scamming your fans, and if we go to LoganPaulScams.com, we can see it's been 245 days since Logan Paul promised to refund Crypto Zoo victims that he scammed. And as we can see by the screenshot from Logan Paul himself in his Discord, he said this. This is on the 16th of January. Hey Zookeepers, we are continuing to work hard to further develop and release the game. This is a priority for me personally. In the meantime, I have committed more than 1.8 million for those who do not want to wait for Crypto Zoo to be completed. He also said that the Zoo coin was not and is not an investment vehicle, but he knows what he's doing. He knows that people are going to invest in this, knowing that they can make money from it pumping. So he's promised 1.8 million to be refunded to his Crypto Zoo investors. And by the way, as a little side note, if you've invested in that Crypto Zoo, consider it gone. I've currently got about £30,000 invested into crypto, and it's worth about £10,000 right now. The whole market's down. There's some coins that I'm really hopeful for and could make me a good 50, 70 grand if it gets back to where it was a few years ago. But what I like to do is just pretend that it's dead money and focus instead on getting your active income up. Don't focus on passive income. You can't control it as much. You haven't got those skills yet. Really, instead, you need to focus on your active income because it's actually faster, and the more active income you can make, then the more you can invest in crypto and stocks.
I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million.
1.3, 1.8. Where's that money, Logan? You're certainly confident enough to bet on yourself winning this fight, but you haven't got the money to reimburse your fans. Logan has stated repeatedly in press, in legal letters, and public statements that he's working on it, as shown here.
What are you friends with Conor McGregor? Where is he, by the way? Where's Coach McGregor, and why won't he take my bet?
He'll be here and he'll smack
why won't he take my $1 million bet?
Why won't you pay back to people from Crypto Zoo?
I'm working on it, Dylan.
See, he's happy to bet $1 million with McGregor there. He says he's working on it. This is LoganPaulScams.com, by the way. And we see here, I presume this is from his legal team. We represent Logan Paul. Mr. Paul has informed us of your outreach about the status of the Crypto Zoo egg buyback. Mr. Paul remains committed to this process. We are working with Mr. Paul to evaluate the best way to achieve this goal. He says they're trying to evaluate the best way to achieve this goal. Find out who invested what, which isn't really hard to do. You just find out people's crypto addresses and then reimburse them the money. Logan has since blamed his developers, but he is named along with other Crypto Zoo founders in a class action lawsuit. Paul has denied any wrongdoing, and his representatives tell Rolling Stone that all deserving parties will be reimbursed. I believe that him saying he's working on it is him just hoping that people will forget about it. In his mind, he might be thinking that if it wasn't for this Dennis fight, then there would be no focus on the Crypto Zoo thing. People wouldn't be talking about it. It's just because Logan Paul is a trending topic right now, and that's why it's getting brought up again. So he might be thinking, people are only bringing this up because there's a big spotlight on me at the moment. Once this spotlight dies down, people might forget again. I think he's waiting for it all to blow over. Videos like these keep it front and center and make sure that people don't forget about it, and hopefully eventually will make him have to be accountable. So make sure you like this video to support. However, according to LoganPaulScams.com, Crypto Intelligence News reported that Logan Paul is upset he didn't get enough credit for his announcement and has since changed his mind. A source with ties to Paul and the now defunct project has now told Crypto Intelligence that the American influencer has changed his mind about compensating investors. Specifically, the source said that Logan Paul was unhappy with the response he received online after he announced his intention of compensating investors from his own pocket, feeling that he didn't receive enough credit. So basically, he said that he's not going to refund everyone because people haven't given him enough praise for his announcement. So basically, he spat his dummy out the pram like a big baby and now isn't reimbursing investors. Logan Paul is just an oversized 14-year-old. He's really just a stroppy teenager on steroids. Don't forget, this is the same guy who filmed someone who unalived themselves in a forest in Japan and used the guy's unalived body in the thumbnail. He financially capitalized on someone's death. He's literally a sociopath. And I've seen the odd comment defending Logan Paul on my last video. I honestly don't understand how you can continually defend someone who has pushed so many scams and taken his audience for granted so much. If you're defending him, this is to you. He does not care about you at all. All he wants is your money, and that's it. And speaking of comments and support, a quick little side note. I actually see all your positive comments and words of support, and it actually makes me genuinely happy. I was actually saying to my missus last night that it feels good reading all your comments and stories, especially when I'm on the toilet, and how some of my videos help you in whatever way. So thank you so much. I've already met a few of you in person now, which is a sign that the channel is growing. And every time I meet you lads are just boss with great positive energy, and it gives me so much motivation to take this to the top. Anyway, back to the video. Now, maybe no matter what I say is going to change your mind. You like Logan Paul and that's it. But if you need a little reminder of some of the crypto pump and dumps of Logan Paul, here you go. It all started with Dink Doink. Yes, we're talking about a crypto called Dink Doink. Logan literally made a theme tune to promote it.
Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Want you to dink on my face, take a doink on my chest.
He promoted it heavy all over social media.
I'm doing the same thing as you, holding my doink. That's what I'm doing. This is a shit coin I believe in. It's my favorite one, to be honest. Dink Doink is so much more than a meme coin. It's a multimedia coin. Cartoon meets crypto. It's the blockchain, baby. In cartoon, fun, comedy format. I'm gonna be doing an episode myself soon. And as a holder in Dink Doink, I believe in this shit. I think it's gonna go crazy. Some of my friends and celebrities as well are gonna get involved in episodes doing voiceovers, fun cartoon stuff. It's fucking Dink Doink, bro. And I'm ready to start sucking some dink.
Yeah, and here is how Dink Doink got on. Looks like his dinky flopped. Pardon. He must have been feeding it the same steroids that he's on himself. Dink Doink, more like Stink Doink. Terrible joke. Absolutely awful, Shaun. Who gives a crap, though? And for anyone who wants to know, yes, sometimes you can develop erectile dysfunction from taking gear. It happens. Not speaking from experience. I'm fully natural, as you can tell by my lack of gains. But it's because I've been sick since January. I always try and get that one in so I'm not judged as much. Speaking of erectile dysfunction, next he promoted a coin called Elongate, as in Elon Musk, and then the word gate. Elongate. Elongate.
Elongate made me rich. Elongate, baby. Let's go. Elongate token.
He said Elon made him rich. Clearly, he's just trying to capitalize on the popularity of Elon Musk at the time when Elon was talking about different cryptocurrencies. So a coin literally named after the richest man in the world. What can go wrong? So when you look at the chart, you can see this coin went flaccid. It did not elongate at all. Quick little note, I guarantee that he had bots in place to sell off tokens when it would reach a certain price. I remember being in super early on a token before it had even launched. I was in the private Telegram group with 50 other lads. We were all going to make hundreds of grands. Then it went live and shot right up. Turns out someone on the inside on the development team had botted the coin and it would sell off £20,000 worth of coin every time that the graph would hit a certain point. So it basically just killed all the coin's momentum before it even got started, and someone on the inside made a fat bag. There was all sorts of beef, lost friendships, trust issues and investigations over it, but it couldn't be traced. And after that, I was like, fuck this, I just need to work on my income. But that's what'll happen. Logan promotes it. He's just the front man. It's not really him selling off all the coin. He's got people to do it for him. And they're making a fat bag as well. So there's people on the inside who are selling off coin, and they've got bots in place, which are selling as the coin pumps. Then as it peaks, they do a huge sell-off and make crazy dough. Then they make a few promises on the back end and just say, look guys, this is how all coins work. Every coin pumps initially, but we believe in the utility utility of the coin. We've got this coming up. We've got these special NFT cards coming up. We've got this game coming up. Listen, I've known people who've made crypto coins. All that stuff about utility and games and NFTs coming up is just all a ploy to keep you invested in that coin. They're still making bank on the back end of the tax placed on each transaction of the coin when you're buying and selling. So even when the coin is dead, these developers and people on the inside are getting rich still, even when the coin has still had its big peak. But Shaun, he didn't know they were pump and dumps. Logan's a great guy. He's just young and naive. Okay, you don't believe me? Well, here's his next pump and dump. Oops, that wasn't his pump and dump. That was every other man's pump and dump. Anyway, this is his third pump and dump scam. It's the fuck Elon coin. He tweeted this: fuck Elon to the moon before he ever gets there. Not financial advice. You do know this doesn't absolve you of any responsibility, Logan. You know that people won't listen to that. People will still buy because they know how much influence that you have and how much that coin will pump up. And how did this coin get on? Maybe third time's a charm, or maybe it's another Nina Agdal pump and dump. A Twitter account called ZachXBT reported on all of this. You can go and check it out on his Twitter account, all the evidence of Logan's scams. And this is what Zach tweeted. Logan promotes another pump and dump. His buys happen right before the tweet and dump 12 hours later for a $116,000 profit in total. So Logan made a fat bag off that. I just find it so hilarious that Logan is calling out Dylan Dennis for the pump and dump when he's done exactly the same thing, but on an even higher level. And I can show you proof of this. Logan said to Dylan that he's never made any money from CryptoZoo, yet Dylan Dennis was only promoting his pump and dumps for the measly $5,000. Insert CoffeeZilla clip.
Of course, for a price. I mean, that is the one thing he actually did care about, which might not surprise you. And it's the one thing he actually pushed back on, because I told him I wanted to pay him $1,000, and he said, that's pretty low for me. So we negotiated and landed on a payment rate of $5,000 for a 24-hour post about our NFT project, which does not exist.
Not that it makes it any better, of course. However, Logan is making hundreds of thousands of dollars from his pump and dumps. So saying to Dylan Dennis, well, I didn't make any money from CryptoZoo, doesn't really hold that much weight when you've made hundreds of thousands, maybe even over $1 million from all the other pump and dumps that you've done. And the thing is, 2 years ago, I doubt many people were listening to Dylan Dennis's crypto advice. He wasn't as popular back then as he is now. But how many back then were listening to Logan Paul's advice? Probably a lot more. So how much collective loss has Logan Paul's fans and investors had versus collective loss of Dylan Dennis's fans? You could argue that Logan Paul has built a lot of his wealth using deceptive tactics to scam his fans out of money. It's the same with Prime Hydration. That's a scam because it hydrates you less than most other sports drinks. It literally doesn't have the main electrolyte in it, which makes you more hydrated. Everything Logan touches seems to turn to a scam. And here's some more examples. I only just found out about this one today. Case number 3, Floyd and Logan Paul had a fight back in June 2021 that was heavily sponsored by Emacs. Logan received tokens for free from the project that he then sold for $71,000. Currently, Emacs is being sued for being a scam. I'm not sure how Emacs even passed the vetting process to sponsor. And here we can see Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather sued by investors over alleged crypto scam. A class action lawsuit accuses Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather of artificially inflating the price of cryptocurrency Ethereum Max. The celebrities made false or misleading statements about the little known token in social media posts, the lawsuit claims. Ethereum Max has lost around 97% of its value since early June, leading some investors to label it as a pump and dump scheme, and Logan was a part of that. We also had this one too. Case number 9, Logan's other crypto project, CryptoZoo, blacklisted holders when they migrated contacts. In an interview with The Block, Logan claimed the initial team was problematic, but it's all rectified. People like Bagsy still haven't received anything despite following instructions. I don't really know the finer details of this, but it seems like this Bagsy needs to be reimbursed for his investment. Logan Paul and his team have also robbed me of over 7 figures with his CryptoZoo project by not transferring over my market bought tokens from the old contract to the new contract they initialized pre-launch. Okay, so he's bought 7 figures worth of tokens and they haven't been transferred over. That's interesting. And then also, as you can see right under this, Logan Paul brought out NFTs and crypto art, and he was found that he was just photoshopping stock images. So rather than creating completely unique and original assets, he was just taking these stock pictures here of the panda and then just adding along those. There's like hundreds of examples of these as well. So this is a good meme. Your followers are not your exit liquidity, or replace followers with friends. Right now, also, remember when Logan was trading Pokemon cards and buying crazy rare Pokemon cards for millions of dollars? Do you remember the time when he bought a box of unopened Pokemon cards for $3.5 million? And the box turned out to just be filled with G.I. Joe cards in, and it seemed like Logan Paul got scammed. There's now a bit of a conspiracy behind that situation, potentially showing that everyone was in on it, and the people who were meant to verify the box initially before it got sold to Logan didn't do it properly just so they could get a kickback off the sale. It's a crazy, complex storyline, but if you're interested in how it all pans out, basically there's a YouTuber called Rattle Pokémon, and he's got an 18-part series exposing how Logan Paul has done all these Pokemon scams, and each part is like an hour long, but this YouTuber called oompaville has done a bit of a breakdown video of it, and he explains it and how it's a bit of a scam. But I'll give you a brief synopsis right here. The people involved in this fake Pokemon cards box for $3.5 million tie into this next part. After that initial unboxing and finding out that it was just G.I. Joe cards, he then went on to buy a rare Pokemon card for $4 million, and he released a website where everyone could help him pay off the card by purchasing shares in the Pokemon card itself. It's called Liquid Marketplace. So basically, this website allows you to purchase a fraction of a percent of a Pokemon card of Logan's. So how does that work? You're purchasing ownership of one Pokemon card, but you can never own it or touch it or see it. It doesn't make sense. Some people might say, yeah, but it's like the stock market. The thing is with the stock market, though, is you are actually purchasing shares in a company that's out there in the real world, growing and earning more money and expanding. If you purchase shares in the S&P 500, that's the top 500 companies that are growing year over year for the most part. Obviously, the market's down a little bit. So it's a bit more of a tangible thing that you're putting your money into, not just this little piece of card that Logan Paul's got in his bedroom somewhere. Anyway, the team behind this website is made up of all of the people who were involved in selling the fake Pokemon card box on and on and on to one another. So when you go back down that line of individuals of people who were selling the fake Pokemon card box, someone down that line of individuals was the scammer and knew that the Pokemon cards were G.I. Joe cards. Now, whoever that person was is potentially involved in Logan's new website where you can purchase shares in this Pokemon card and other online assets. So it's just not a good look. You've got this previous Pokemon card $3.5 million scandal where there's potential scammers down that line of buyers. Now a bunch of those people are working on Logan's website. And another thing, within the terms and conditions on this website, you need to own 80% of the Pokemon card in order to be able to sell it. But Logan has only got 1/5 of its shares up for sale, which equates to $900K. So basically, you can invest $900,000 into shares of this Pokemon card, but still have no say in what happens to it. You don't own it. So how does this not feel like a scam as well? It also doesn't help that the Discord for this Liquid Marketplace website of Logan Paul's has been abandoned. There's no moderation, there's no updates. One of the last messages to be put in the Discord said this: "Wow, I can't believe what has happened. No explanation or anything. We have been scammed." It's looking like they've just taken people's money and ran off once again. Is it oompaville or oompaville? I don't even know. Well, anyway, in oompaville's video, he said it's like owning a fraction of an NFT. So this is worse than owning an NFT because you don't even own the whole asset. You kind of own a share of the asset, maybe. And I've seen these two comments on oompaville's video. At this point, if you get scammed by Logan Paul, you not only deserved it, but you should also get fined as well. I kind of agree with that. I can't feel bad for the victims of his latest scam. How many times does someone have to rip you off before you stop trusting them? Couldn't have said it better myself. So it seems like we're just stuck in an infinite loop of Logan Paul scamming his fans. Crazy, innit? And also, I'm going to sound like a bit of a hypocrite here, but I am highly contemplating on going to the fight of Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis, KSI, Tommy Fury, and doing a vlog for the YouTube channel. I begrudge putting money in his pocket, but it could be good content for the channel, and to see this story through to the final point. Plus, it's not really a scam, actually seeing his head get punched in from Dylan. Just fingers crossed Dylan pulls something out the bag. Do something, Dylan, come on. And it's also a good excuse for a night out. What do you guys think? Should I go? Comment down below, let me know. Like this video, subscribe for fitness and MMA content, and content just calling out bullshit on the internet. See you tomorrow.